Why is pro video production so expensive, you may ask? Oh, I'm gonna tell you, and here's a hint. It's the same reason why taking video in-house to save money is not as cut and dry as tallying the salaries required to do so. What could I possibly be about to talk about here? Stick around, let's get into it. Yes, it's true that the tools of video production and the post-production infrastructure required to do it professionally are expensive, but that's not the only reason why it costs so much money. When compared to the other types of content out there, commercial filmmaking is as cross-disciplinary as it gets. It takes many different, highly differentiated and highly technical skills to do it right. A writer who knows how to write for the moving image and not the page, a director of photography, an editor, a designer, an animator, a colorist, and the list goes on and on. Yes, you could hire one person to do it all to save money, but hiring salaried Swiss Army knives or unicorns or ninjas isn't gonna scale like you want it to. And you're gonna be right back where you started, trying to find a way to save money with video content. Said differently, video doesn't scale easily because of the many steps in the process. And so if it's one or two people doing everything, it's gonna end up costing you more money than you'd like it to, either in vendor cost or staff hour overruns. Having one or two people simultaneously writing and then editing and then maybe shooting something and then dipping into an hour-long meeting and then shooting something unplanned is a recipe for breakdown, because the burden being created by that multitasking is shouldered by the creatives and not the business they support. At best, your turnover is going to be high or your quotes expensive. But what can you do about it? If this costly coordination thing I'm describing sounds familiar to you and you want to take some ownership, then it really comes down to a simple maxim. Do you want to make video content that works? If yes, then ask your video people how you can better position them for success. And spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you the top 3 things you're going to hear when you ask this question. Number 1, earlier access to the project in the ideation and planning stages. Number 2, more time to work on the project. Number 3, more space to focus on what's being asked of them, both project to project and organizationally. In a bustling agency environment, these 3 things aren't always possible, but you can create some space for these 3 things in how you plan execution. And believe me, this simple consideration, this awareness, goes a long way and creates exponential returns, both in terms of the product that's being made and in the morale, the vibe that keeps the whole thing working. Full disclosure, the only reason I know any of this stuff is because I've made all these mistakes repeatedly. My career has some wins, sure, but there's a ton of fails in there as well. And I'd argue that that's really the benefit of hiring a professional. You're hiring them for what they know how to do, sure, but you're also hiring them for what they know not to do, and that can only come from trial and error and, yeah, fall on your face, a failure. And in parting, I'll share a nugget that took me millions of dollars in project budget spend and 12 years of hiring both freelance and staff video professionals to acquire, and it's this. The best way to save money in video production is to set the filmmakers involved up for technical success. Setting up for technical success requires a technical acumen, and that can only be acquired with time and experience. I do believe that'll do, so click on through for some more details on that last bit there. Reach out, I'm here for it.